Hello and welcome to Signature Morning from the Abuja studio. My name is Mwabuz and Joko. Can see I'm all smiles. I think 2 mornings ago, I told you that I was making an effort to climb an Iroko tree to try and fetch as much firewood as I could. I can assure you this morning that I have axe, I have a machete, and this table is going to be full of firewood. It's an assurance. My name is Mwabuz and Joko. The name never changes. But something else is going to happen this morning. Just sit there and enjoy the morning with me. What does it take to bring somebody so close to you? I brought somebody very close to me. And my guest this morning, Dr. Chris Mwabweze Ngige, former governor of Anambra State, former minister of labor and employment, a medical doctor who has kept the status quo and chosen to be involved in human management, materials management, development management. Dr. Ngige, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mwabweze. Thank you for having me. Thank you, viewers.
Today is 8th of August, and as I looked through the document before I entered the studio, I discovered that you are 73 today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
But how does it feel? You're a medical doctor.
Yeah.
I'm sure that in medical practice, there are certain feelings that come with 73 years old. How does it feel to be 73?
Well, the truth of the matter is that by medical training, we normally designate old persons from the age of 65. And when you get up to 70, then you are fully there, you are fully classified as an old person. Probably because that's what the Bible said, that God said, you are dust, you will come back to dust. That's 70 years that he gave you.
10.
Yeah, 10. It's in Genesis, and it's also in Psalm 90. And he went further to say that when you are strong, you get up to 80, for those who are strong. And if you go down to Psalm 91, sorry, you start talking about everlasting life for those who acknowledge God, who love Him. So for me, I've gotten to 73 years ago. So I have made the seventh floor and the threshold. So anything now is additional, is gracia from God. I feel well. I've enjoyed reasonable good health, in prosperity, and it's Lord's doing. I see some of my age mates. Some are dead already. Some are bedridden. And there are very few of them that I now see, especially when I look around those who went to primary school with me and secondary school with me. So, all praises go to God. I will be going to church this afternoon, 12 o'clock mass. I'm a Catholic, so I'm going to worship in my parish here in Asokoro, Church of Assumption, and with few friends, because we put it on a quiet mode so that we can thank God for His mercies and blessing towards me and my family.
73-year-old Chris Ngige, but there was a beginning.
Yes.
An Allah child, an Allah boy. I say to you off camera that they say every man has only but one childhood.
Yes.
This childhood in Allah, what was it like?
Well, let me help you. I'm not an Allah child because I was born in Enugu. My father was a civil servant. He was a works foreman, carpentry, in the then Public Works Department called PWD, which represents the Ministry of Works and Housing of today. So he gave birth to, in fact, all of us in Enugu. Nobody was born outside the Enugu. So my primary school was in Enugu. And I went to St. Patrick's Obete, Enugu, because my father was a landlord in a coal camp. When he retired from PWD as work supervisor, he now went into contracting. That was the time I had the word contractor. My father was one of them, and he built many health centers in the former Eastern region. He was an expert in roofing, particularly roofing in those days. So the Igbo people, the colonial masters, were sending him all over the place. So we did my childhood in Enugu and did my boyhood in partly Enugu and Alo, my hometown. So you are correct in that one, because I went into the secondary school that is in my hometown, St. John's Secondary School, Alo. I was there in class 4, and the war started. So war brought us back home again. Yeah. But before I went to St. John's, I enjoyed going to the village because my father would go there every fortnight because of his mother. My father was in love with the mother. He was the first child. He was the first son, sorry. There was a lady before him. And you know, ladies, they get married out. Yeah. So my father, my father's elder sister was a lady called Chioma. And so when Chioma went out and the other boy went to the civil service, my uncle, he was living in Zaria, Lagos, because he was in railways, transfers. So we look forward as a child to going home to meet our maternal grandmother, my paternal grandmother called Owe, old woman, amiable woman, spoils us. He will get his food, her food, and give us. If there is no food, she will make an emergency cooking. And that emergency cooking of those days, those soup are better than the soup of today. And there were no Maggi.
Grandma soup.
Yes, no Maggi. It's crayfish and some other condiments, fresh. She will go into her farm, get the leaves. If it's ogo or nubu or ra, whichever one, you make it. Same with yam. Yam, there's a yam delicacy she prepares with vegetables again and pumpkin. Yeah. And uba, and brings it out. And the oil is first class oil, fresh. She makes the oil. They go to where they beat the oil and extracts from. So that was what it was. And when I came to St. John's, on free days, we normally have free day. And our free day, I think, was...
you were a boarder?
I was a boarder. It was last Saturday of a month. So I will come home and bond with her. We are required to go in the morning and come back in the evening, or latest you come back first thing Sunday morning, because there must be mass. We had Reverend Father Precepers. I met Father Daly in my class 1, and later on Father Fitzpatrick and Father Ryan. They were our mentors then. And holidays, I will look forward to again running back
to the village.
To Enugu.
Okay, to Enugu.
Enugu City. Yes. Because I will look forward to going to enjoy electricity. We don't have electricity in the village. And even in the school, is the generator we use, and these generators have time to be out, time out in the night.
Lights out.
Lights out. Called. Yes, it's called. And if you put a torch on, you will be penalized. So, so that was my childhood and boyhood. Before I went to secondary school, my father sent me to some teachers, some high elementary teachers, to live with them so that I can be able to do well in English and
mathematics.
Arithmetic. Yes.
It wasn't mathematics, arithmetic.
Arithmetic,
You're right.
What it's called there. So my father one time chose one man who they said got high elementary at first trial and got GC A level again at first trial. After the man had demolished GC O level. The teacher was called Mr. Obuakata. Obuakata, yes. That's their family name. So I lived with him and transferred my education from St. Patrick's, Obete, to St. Mary's, Owane, where Obuakata was teaching. After a while, Obuakata was transferred to Holy Ghost. Then I was again moved to Holy Ghost. And so you can see I was going about. Holy Ghost is in Ogui.
All in Enugu City.
Enugu. So childhood I was an Enugu boy. Boyhood, same.
Yeah.
Because I come on holidays in Enugu.
Can you remember any of your boyhood friends today?
Oh yeah. Dr. Tony Sama, Ike. Our house is opposite theirs. They settled in that Obunike Street before us.
Okay.
The father settled before my father. And we now moved our house after my father finished our own building. We moved from Broderick Street into Obunike Street, number 19A. And Ike then were in 20. So we used to go play football together. We used to do competition or button playing. We play buttons and even high jump. We normally do high jump. We fix our own high jump and yes.
Trying your luck.
But
Ngige, let us go a little bit.
And one day the things we fixed, we didn't fix it well, it broke and punctured my thigh. Yes, near my femoral artery. Near. The wound is still there. The chemist where I was taken to and the doctor said I'm a lucky boy, that if it has touched and punctured my artery, my femoral artery, that they wouldn't have done anything. So you can see that it's God that preserves us.
Kept you here, knowing and seeing the future.
Yes.
But Ngige, you went ahead to read medicine, University of Nigeria, Nsukka.
Mm-hmm.
How was it reading medicine?
Wow.
Was it a personal choice or a parent's choice?
No, not parental. Not parental. It was my brother-in-law who was married to my elder sister, Mrs. Nwachukwu, Bene Nwachukwu. The husband is Godfrey Nwachukwu. He was a labor officer. So after the war, I was an art student. I was good in arts, history, geography, Bible knowledge, and the rest. So he came visiting. We refused in my class to do school SAT in 1970. So we were called special class. So when he came and he said, now that you're not doing school SAT this year,
Yes.
why don't you think of getting sciences than calling yourself an art student? Because, you know, children fantasy, I read a lot. I read a lot of novels. So some of the novels I read were novels of adventure. I don't know, there's a series of book in our library then called Teach Me Something. They had series. So if you read it, you will see even some people who go to deserts, Igbo people. So when I was growing up, I was telling my father I want to be an astrologer and archaeologist. My father was laughing. He doesn't know which is which. The man had only the old standard 6 and then learned his trade. So it was this my uncle who said, go for sciences, take them. Maybe, who knows, you will do well and become a doctor. And if you become a doctor, you'll be the first doctor in this big family, because we're a very big clan in Alo. That's the Ngige family.
Yes.
We are huge, we are plenty, we are more than 1,000. Yeah.
That's a number.
Yes, because our old father, our grandfather Ngige, married many wives, had about 8 wives. It's only my grandfather that had 1 wife. My father's father. So I took the thing serious. So when I got to the school, I changed some of the courses. I took additional courses. The principal was understanding, Mr. Ngige. I explained to him that I now want to do science and arts combined. That I just felt like I needed
to enlarge your coast.
Yes, to choose. And they allowed me. And I started physics and chemistry, which I had dropped before. Not that I dropped them, but I was doing what they call general science. General science is biology, chemistry, physics as one course. So, but now I can do them independently. And it was surprising to everybody. I studied physics. We had no teacher. I was teaching myself. Yeah, we had no teacher in our law for the first term and second term of 1970. It was only in the third term that they gave us one teacher, Mr. Ngige. He came new. And by the time he was coming, school calendar then was December.
Yeah.
He was coming and we only spent about 3 months with him and went on long holidays to go to the next class. And immediately we came into the next class in 71. The Federal Ministry of Education, through the through the education secondary school education department, as the federal government colleges that we are starting post-secondary,
Yes.
HSC, higher school start, to fan out to non-FGC colleges and draw people from there for post-secondary. So in our law, St. John's, they brought us 5 forms and said it's for the first 5 persons to take and then prepare for an exam. So I joined because they gave me the form. I had done well in the school in the December result. Yes, I came third or second, second or third. So we were 5 of us. They gave us the forms. We filled and sent back. And HSC schools were King's College, Federal Government College of Warri, and Federal Government College Maduguri, which was newly established, the three of them. So we wrote the exam, the 5 of us. 2 persons were writing for engineering, 3 of us were writing chemistry, biology, physics for medicine and allied courses. The result came, a match, and only 3 of us qualified. I and one Dr. Cyprian Afunugo and Dr. Benjamin Onwal. The man who took first last December didn't qualify. So the school, the school was shaking that these 3 at the federal government colleges have recognized, and they invited us for interview. And we went for the interview in CIC, and it was an Oyibo principal called Davis. Mr. Davis was principal of Federal Government College Warri. And they did the interview. And after the interview, they took the 3 of us, myself, Onwalu, and Afunugo. But the icing on the cake, the big news, was that I was the person that was first and offered admission to Warri. Afunugo and Onwal were offered admission to Maduguri. I didn't like going to do post-secondary school. So I was thinking about it and weighing all my options, because I like to go direct to the university through an entrance exam. But this one, you go to HSC and do 2 more years, yes, and get a level. You may not even get the level or get the courses. So I was, prevaricating, and the bad news came. The bad news was that we took school start in December of that year, and the entire school result was seized. They said that some boys were copying during the exam for Bible knowledge, BK, of all courses. And we were astonished because 5 of us that went to
for the HSC exam.
Yes. In school certificate, they named us 001, 002, just like that. So I was 003, and you sit in the front seat. So we didn't know that those people at the back, that some of them came into the exam hall with small Bible. I didn't know. I didn't even know there was a Bible that was this small. So YX is the entire result. So that's 71. That's 71. We were waiting for the result to come out in 72. I took entrance exam to universities. And when we took the entrance exam, we were hopeful that the results should be released. And because of that, I went to St. Teresa's Nsukka, near University of Nigeria.
Yes.
So that I can
quickly move from here
into the university. We took exam to the universities. I passed in Nsukka that year. Passed Ibadan that year. Those who sat the exams with me that time, like Professor Ngige, I don't know whether you know him. He was the CMD at Enugu State University of Teaching Hospital. Yeah. So they published our names in the newspapers as having passed. So I got ready.
So that's the story of how this Co-City boy.
Yes.
No. Yes. Co-City child.
Yes.
Alo and Enugu boy.
Yes.
Got into University of Nigeria. So
Yes.
Qualified.
No, I didn't go.
You did not go.
I did not go in that 1972. The university started in September 1972. I had no school start result to present. But they gave me provisional admission.
Admission.
And said that we wait for WAEC, that they might release the thing later. And so I waited. WAEC then communicated to the school in October that they have finally cancelled all the results of the 75 students, 2 classes. It was a big shock to me, very big shock. And Ngige kept on asking me, when are you coming to register, that they have finished registration? And I said, I'm waiting. So I went to the registrar's office, and they said, no, there's no concession. One aspect of it is that same year that they seized that result, we took GCE London, some of us. I had 6 papers, but they gave me D in English. And Nsukka said D is equivalent of 7, and that their entry requirement is credit in English language and mathematics for medicine. So I dropped off. I didn't want to go back to St. Teresa's in Nsukka. My uncle, Engineer Godi Okafor, was a highway engineer in Anambra State, and under the situation in that 1972, the federal government, Federal Ministry of Works under Brigadier Obasanjo, entered into an agreement with Anambra State Highway Department for them to reconstruct the 9-mile Otukpo Road. So when I said I wasn't going back to the HSC, my father pleaded with me. I said, no, I will not go. That I won't have time to read my O-level the way I want. That I want to repeat these universities again. Ibadan didn't even talk to me again when I had no results. So I repeated them. But this time I included Lagos, Ibadan, Nsukka. I repeated them in 1973. I passed Nsukka again. I passed Ibadan. I passed Lagos. But each of them had what they call a second interview. So Nsukka had second interview and pruned down the number of people who came for the exam. The number of people who came for the exam for medicine was 4,000. Because that was the first year. They were allowing people who took May, June, GCE, WAEC, to take exams into university without having their certificate. Pending, they will give you admission
when the result comes.
So it was double
the number.
So Nsukka pruned down their 4,000 to about 1,500. I don't know how they did it, but they published the 1,500 that will come. We went, and I passed Nsukka's second exam. It clashed with that of Lagos. I didn't go. So I took Nsukka again. I went. My father said, are you sure you are going to pass? I said, yes, I will pass. I will pass. So they were pitying me, him and my mom. When I'm reading, they will come and be peeping because I will be reading by 4 a.m. I will read till 6, 7. Then I sleep and wake up again. So when the result came out, out of that 1,500, Nsukka admitted 81 of us in 1973. 81 persons.
So don't get, you know why I'm trying to interject, because there's so much meat yet to be taken.
Yes.
Because this is Ngige growing up,
yes.
Ngige becoming a doctor.
Yes. So that's how I went to read medicine
at University of Nigeria and Nsukka.
Yes.
Dr. Ngige, you had your stethoscope.
Yeah.
You had what do you call it for tearing us open?
Scalpel.
Scalpel.
Yes, knife.
In other words, you were ready to
knife.
practice.
What is scalpel?
At what stage did you veer into politics? At what stage?
Partisan politics.
Partisan politics.
Yes, yes. Because why is partisan politics is that in the university I played politics.
You have become interested
yes.
in leadership.
Yes.
So how did you join partisan politics?
I represented my block in the Student Representative Council. I ran an election.
Campaigned?
Yes, and campaigned. And that first time I ran the election was 1974. We had come back down from Nsukka campus into Enugu campus. So I campaigned to represent my constituency, which is my floor. I ran with a law student called Cameron Eze. I ran against him. Cameron was a third-year law student, and they have primed him to be the speaker of the Students' Parliament. So everybody was for him. Then I threw my hat into the ring. So everybody was surprised. Medical student going to run an election. No medical student does politics anyway. So I went. I ran. Cameroon defeated me with 1 vote.
Oh, poor you. But you know what? I'm questioning certain things because my viewer needs to know more about this Dr. Chris Mwabo's
so
in public life.
I went to Nsukka. I did Students' Union politics, NONS. I was a chairman of a committee of National Union of Nigerian Students. And people said, you will fail medicine. I said, no, I won't fail. Then one time they reported us to the dean of medicine, and Professor Wako, he invited us because I've gotten some people now who are my followers and ready to do politics. So we went and seized the Students' Union, the Medical Students' Union Association. We seized the leadership with Peter Odili as our head. So from there, I went to the General Hospital on Onitsha. After I passed out with my MBBS, I went there to do my housemanship. From there, I went to Lagos, National Assembly Clinic, for my NYSC. The late Dr. Joseph Wires and late Chubo Kadibo were our mentors in a way, because when we were in the Students' Union, we interacted with them. They were in the Constituent Assembly, so we used to invite them to the campus to come and speak to students, organize lectures for them and the rest. So they know me, and once I finished NYSC, I told them I want to come to Lagos. They were happy to get me there. So they facilitated my movement to NYSC and National Assembly Clinic. So I did my 1 year in National Assembly Clinic, and that 1 year turned to be the turning point in my life politically, because I was seeing legislators, I was treating them, treating their families. So I became bonded to a lot of them. And by that was 1980 for youth service. By 81, they have absorbed us into the system through the National Assembly Service Commission. The late Dr. Gidado Idris, former SGF, was our CNA, Clerk of National Assembly. So I worked there and was posted to the Senate President office in 1982 as a physician in that office, to look after him and the staff members of that office, go on trips with him, campaigns and the rest of them all. So I was involved more in campaign of Cross River, where he is from. And we're doing this job till 1983 December. Then the coup happened. The National Assembly was dismantled. It's the first structure to go. So we were later on magnanimously absorbed into the federal system, and I found myself in Federal Ministry of Health. In Federal Ministry of Health, they converted the National Assembly Clinic to staff clinic and staff hospital. And they had other staff clinics in Trade Fair, in Igomu, they had the one in Igomu, the other one in Tafabele was where, and there was another one at Federal Government Special Guest House. Yes. So when they absorbed us, they left us in that our National Assembly Clinic, which is now Federal Staff Clinic, Victoria Island. Because as legislators departed, civil servants and public servants were allocated flats in 1004. I was also a resident there. So from there, I went on course. The Federal Ministry sent me on course to Pakistan, the Institute of Public Administration, and I did health system management and hospital administration. So when I came back, I was then taken into the headquarters as one of the consultants overseeing clinics, federal medical centers, and teaching hospitals in the Department of Hospital Services. So I became a staff there, equipped now with my knowledge in management and hospital admin. So I was budget officer for the department, yes. And after a while, my schedule changed to outdoor medical services. And during that period, I established federal staff clinics in many of the state capitals: Port Harcourt, Maduguri, Abeokuta, Ilori, Enugu, Anambra, the old Anambra state in Enugu. Yes, in Enugu. So that was my schedule, and also establishing of new federal medical centers for states, for state capitals that don't have teaching hospitals. That was the policy then. We started giving them federal medical centers. They will designate one of the general hospitals in their place, and we shall upgrade it. So I was doing that with one doctor away.
But in this tour of duty and establishment of these facilities, can you close your eyes and remember the first thing that drew you, pulled you out of medical services into partisan politics? Just check.
Well, the thing that
was it a process?
Was that in that consultations for sick patients, excuse me, especially when I was in 1004, the policy was that we treat only civil servants. It didn't include their family. No. So, but I threw my clinic open, the one I was in charge of, and said we should be seeing everybody, because drugs were brought and it's free. So those in the pharmacy section, they rebelled. Once you're not a civil servant, they will refuse to give you a drug because it's free. So I said no. Another area of disagreement with them was treatment of children, pediatrics. They said that the children should be taken to Mercy Street in Lagos. That is the children's hospital. And I said no. If a mother who is a civil servant brings a child here and we don't treat and say go to Mercy, she won't report at her duty post for the whole day. So I overruled the policy and started seeing them. So they took it to our headquarters and reported me. So they gave me a query on why I was going against the circular. Luckily for me, I had become a level 14 officer and so entitled to be a TMC, Top Management Committee. So when the matter was tabled, Professor Ansonkuti was our minister. And I explained that these people coming here are civil servants, that the only thing I added was their families. That if you're a man, your wife. If you're a woman, your husband, we must treat. Your children, we must treat. And if we don't get good result, we can then refer the children to Mrs. Street. So I came and I took my folders and came of those we treated that were involved. Because they said I was making government lose revenue by so doing. That the drugs that they bought that should last 1 month usually last 2 weeks. So that was it. Ansonkuti looked at my presentation and asked them in TMC that they should clap for this doctor. And Director of Hospital Services, you gave a query. I should be giving you a query for giving you this man this query. This man is a natural doctor. He cares for the masses. Dr. Ngige, thank you very much. That was it. So I developed that zeal for things that can be done on a general basis so that everybody will benefit, especially those who are not opportune to go to school, to know how to use pen and paper, to steal money. Because the money in Nigeria or in any given state belongs to everybody, both those who went to school and those who didn't go to school. That is my preaching. And so I decided that I would do more. That's why I entered politics.
How did you enter politics?
I entered politics because before...
Who took you in?
Long story, but you hear it. I entered politics because of that philosophy I have to serve on a general basis so that more people can get benefit. Before then, I had become chairman of my people, Allied Development Union in Lagos. They elected me chairman unopposed because I facilitated electricity from the federal government under the rural electrification scheme to my town. From there, my townspeople elected me president general in absentia. I wasn't there in the hall. I've never seen such a thing happen. I was supposed to be the returning officer for that election, but my plane ran late from Lagos. So by the time I came, late Justice Oyudo, who's from my town, said he has taken over my job as returning officer. He was a judge in Owerri Judiciary, and that he's pleased to announce to me that I'm the new President General. I said, what? Because before I stopped my vehicle to come out from the vehicle, people have rushed out from the hall and started singing and carrying me shoulder high. I was surprised. I said, what is it? What is it? What is it? They said, you know, they carried me into the hall. I sat down and just so you to announce this bad news to me. He said we did what you would like, but that's what we have decided. Okay. So I became their president. Again, we tried to run a populist regime. I, my deputy, Chief Okafo, and my treasurer, Chief Ibeneme, we looked at the budget of the town. The budget of the town was 100,000 naira every year. And this 100,000, to get it, sometimes they go to people's houses, carry their television for not paying an annual levy of 20 naira. Widows, they will carry buckets and everything they see, even pots. There was an instance where they carry pot of soup from a widow's house. So I told them, we're going to abolish this levy. We will now do voluntarism, voluntary donations every year. We will start this first year. My deputy, you own a factory in Onitsha, big factory, Zubis Biscuits.
Yeah.
Then treasurer, you own. So I am going to bring 40,000 every year. You two will bring 30,000. That's 100,000. That's what we're going to be doing. And we did it for the period I was president. No more harassment of widows and old men and everybody, no. We said we can get them to contribute willingly when there's a project. And that's what we practiced till I left in 1997. It was with the same spirit, because by 1997, I looked at what we have achieved. With even this, our contribution, not much. What we have achieved was electricity, which the late Bunu Sheriff Musa, Minister of Power, gave to me for my community in Lagos then. And then Colonel Eze in Anambra, in old Anambra in Enugu, gave me some substations, 3, while Bunu Sheriff brought 8 with all the reticulations. So I now said to myself that there will be a better way to help these people. So let me go to politics. So in 1998, after the death of Abacha, and Abdulsalam was in charge, he announced the timetable for political contest to activity to begin. And I came to work one day. I went to my director. I said, I'm done with civil service. I want to go into that. The man started laughing. Said, do you know where you're going? The place is full of sharks and bracudas. I said, yes, I know. We will kill some sharks.
And some will bite you?
Yes, and some will bite us. But when
get some flesh off
you? No, they will bite. We will not allow them to take flesh off. So that was it. I was president of Aki Kenya in Lagos.
Yeah.
And so I have some idea of politics and the maneuvers there. Because while I was president, I did 2 terms. And in those 2 terms, when I finished my first term and I was coming for second term, some people say no, that Anambra has done too much, and that my secretary is from Anambra and president is from Anambra. To make it worse, we are in-laws. Barrister Zikobi was the secretary general. So, but some people also, straightforward people, Globe Motors, and one other, they say no. It doesn't matter from where we get the people that are competent. We want Ngige to continue. I said, no, I don't want to continue. They said, no, you will continue. The people who are on my side. So they nominated me. Then the other people who filed papers, they started withdrawing because I had achieved a lot as president of Aki Kenga. I was the man who brought Aki Kenga to synergize with Ohaneze, with some Ben Mwabweze and group. And we were able to do Mboko Igbo with Professor B.C. Mosu joining us. And we sent the Igbos, the Southeast team, to Abuja for Abacha's Constitutional Conference in 1995. So I'm not away from politics, as you know. Having played it in the university, played it in Town Union,
and the
Aki Kenga in Lagos. I'm not, the only thing that I wasn't playing partisan politics, even though I was sponsoring people to council and House of Rep. And
Doc, I'm coming to almost the crescendo of this conversation. Now you're into partisan politics.
Yes.
And from May 29, 2003 to March 17, 2006, you became the governor of Anambra State.
That's right.
How did you get into that contest? It's interesting to know how You got into that
again,
contest.
very interesting story. It started from my party, PDP. I'm a foundation member of the PDP. I used to go to the meeting of PDP accompanying Dr. Elese Kweme. He was mentoring some of us, young people. I was one of the mentees. Professor B.C. Nwosu, Dr. Okeude, Handel Okoli, his nephew, and some others. These are the people that go to any meeting with him and will be struggling to carry his bag, because carrying his Ide's bag gives you automatic entry into any meeting. So all the meetings for formation of PDP in Jerry Ghana's house, I attended all. ABC was attended all. Dr. Okeude attended all. Handel Okoli attended all. And we watch how the partisan things are done. We saw the juggle, the dribbling. And Elese Kweme was coming from a G34 position of strength because he was their chairman. And so we watched even when Bola Ige and his people in AD came for the meeting 2 times and now say they won't come again. We asked for the reason. They say some members of PDP, as presently constituted, work with late Abacha, and they don't see themselves cooperating or aligning with Abacha men. We said, who are the Abacha men? So that they named Chief Jim Obodo, they named late Tony Anene, and said that they will not have anything to do with these people. And that's so that before we knew it, they were withdrawn. The day we were to announce PDP formation to Nigerians in Sheraton Hotel, they refused to attend. The next thing we heard is that they were broken out and that they formed AD. So, after the formation of PDP, we went back to Southeast. And Elese Kweme said, Ngige, we'll have an interim body. You become a publicity secretary. And under PNF, we formed ourselves into a People's National Forum. That was the vehicle with which we entered the PDP. Everybody came with a vehicle. So the Monla came with G34 and Middlebelt Forum. Just like that, people came. The other people came under Yaradua's PDM.
Yeah.
Yes, there were a lot of organizations and persons.
Interest groups.
So that's how we entered PDP. I'm a foundation member. And the mission for that party was very ideal at that time. Lesson the Awoni them and the rest of them. Then Gerald Obasanjo was brought in after we had formed the party. In fact, his first attendance was at the Bolingo Hotel. I remember that day. You know, he came with a federal government car because a former head of state. So he made his own donation for the formation of the party. So we started.